Allow me share my screen. And if you have a computer, you can just follow along on your gadget such that you don't miss out on anything. So friends, I'm going to open Microsoft Excel. So I will not go through the initial stages because we are able to look at the initial stages of Microsoft Excel, but maybe someone has just joined us today. The software, it is Excel, so I'm opening Excel. Okay, hopefully my screen is visible. Friends, if you have anything, please use the chat room. Use the chat room. Okay, we are going to be following up. So I have opened Microsoft Excel. So let me open my topic that I want to discuss this evening. Our topic today is loan amortization. As earlier introduced, my name is Robert Kawalya, and today I'm going to be the presenter for this topic of loan amortization. Recap: loan amortization is a process of gradually paying off a loan through scheduled regular payments over a set period of time. So assuming you have obtained a loan from a certain bank, from any money lender, and you want to know how you're going to be paying off your loan. So we are going to have two scenarios. One is going to be about annual payments. Another one is going to be it's going to be on monthly payments. So it depends on your terms with the money lender or from your loan. Someone who is giving you the loan, he might say that you're going to be making monthly payments or annual payments. Yeah. So if you want to start up a business, maybe we know that there is no business that can be able to sustain without loans. Loans are very, very critical in all organizations. But if you're starting up a business, I don't recommend you starting up a business with someone's money. Do not borrow to start up a business, because a business is something that is uncertain. If you get a loss in your business and you use the loan to, that means you have lost a business money and someone else's money. So do not borrow to start up a business. So dive into our scenarios. Scenario one is Bank Alpha or Alpha Bank. You have obtained a loan of $50,000 with an interest rate of 6%. The loan term is 5 years. So payment frequency is annual payments. So you're going to be paying annual payments. So after 1 year, you make a payment. First payment due once 1 year from the loan origination date. And we have some questions for this scenario. Scenario one, something that we should ask ourselves, or something that you're going to look at. What is the annual payment amount required to fully repay the loan at the end of 5 years? What are you going to be paying annually? That is the first question. How would the remaining loan balance change after the second payment? That's the second question. And then, can you create a loan amortization schedule showing the breakdown of principal and interest for each of the 5 payments? Hope you have been able to understand the first scenario. Then that scenario is all about annual payments. How do you treat annual payments? The second one is on monthly payments. You have obtained a loan from a bank called Better Bank, and the loan amount is $100,000 with an interest rate of 4% annually, compounded monthly. Loan term is 10 years, and so if we say we are going to be paying 1 month, monthly for a period of 10 years. That means you're going to be or you're going to pay for a period of 120 months. So how do you get that? 10 times 12 months in a year, then you'll be able to get 120,000. Sorry, 120 months. Payment frequency, it is monthly payments. First payment due 1 month from the loan origination date. Then questions that we should ponder about. What is the monthly payment required to fully repay the loan over 10 years? So asking yourself, how am I going to be paying monthly for a period of 10 years? How would the remaining loan balance change after the first year of the payments? And then can you create a loan amortization schedule for the first year, showing the breakdown of principal and interest for each monthly payment? Okay, so the core objectives for these two scenarios, you the learners, you will learn how to calculate, visualize annual loan payments, and understand how interest is distributed across payments. That is for scenario 1. And then in scenario 2, we are expecting you to explore the complex monthly compounding and payment structure, seeing how monthly payments impact both principal and interest over a long term. So unless you have a question, if you have a question, please use the chat room. Okay, so we are going to first handle scenario 1. How is our scenario 1? Okay, someone obtained a loan from Alpha Bank with a loan amount of 50,000. Interest, it is 6%. Loan term, it is 5 years. So we want to ascertain, or we are going to first put these figures into Excel. This is Excel. I will not go the initial stages on how to save what. So straight, let me maximize my cells such that people can be able to see clearly what I'm doing. Such that everyone is able to follow up. Let me put it to 36. Okay, so I'm going to just input these figures or this content. The loan amount, or I can just call it loan, and I put it here. It is $50,000. Okay, then loan term, or I can call it period or term. It is 5 years. It's 5 years. And then interest rate. It is let me check. I think it is 6%. It is 6%. Okay, so let me format these figures, turning to percentage, turning to currency. So this is dollar, so I can remove some zeros. Okay, I don't want decimal places. This is percentage, 6%. I think it has some challenges. Okay, let me just write it 6% like that. Okay, and then 5 years long-term period. So I've just input the content. The loan amount 50,000, interest rate is 6%, long term 5 years. Okay, hopefully everyone is following. we're about to create the loan amortization schedule for annual payments. So this is the content, or this is what we have from scenario 1. So maybe I'm going to put it in borders, format cells. So in case you are not able to get these initials, these trainings are recorded. Please, you can go to our website, or we always share the recordings on every training, for every training. Okay, so I'm going to put here a heading, and I call it a loan amortization schedule. Loan amortization schedule, by just simply typing it, loan amortization schedule. Okay, I'm going to merge and center it. I'm going to just merge and center it, change its color such that people are able to see everything well. So I'm going to build a loan amortization schedule. But when you're building a loan amortization schedule, you must know the loan period. So we are building this, and it is going to be annual, or I can call it annual loan amortization schedule, such that people are able to follow up clearly and they don't get confused. You must know the period. We know that the period, it is 5 years. So what do we include in this schedule? We must include the period, we must include the payment, and then we must include the interest. Okay, we must include the accumulated interest. These are the things that we are expecting you to be having on your schedule. We must have the principal, and then we must be knowing the accumulated principal. So these are the columns for this schedule, so you can just note them down. We must know the accumulated principal. It is quite long. Then we must know the outstanding balance. Outstanding balance, or I can just call it OB, but you can just put it in full, outstanding balance. So this is you knowing what is going to be the remaining balance. You can call it the remaining balance, outstanding balance. You, after paying in the first year, what is the remaining balance? So that is the outstanding balance. Okay, there is a period when you have just obtained the loan. So assuming you have just obtained the loan today, do you think you're going to pay right now or today? No. So that is the 0 year. Then following up with first year, you pay. Then following up in the second year. So if you want to just add up these numbers, so you can just do it like this. Then you move your cursor, or just point it here, and then you just drag. They will change up to the 5th year. So we have a loan amount, or a loan term of 5 years. So in case you're lost somewhere, please use the chat room. Don't get lost and keep quiet. It will not help you. Okay, let me make it bold. Just make the columns bold. Okay, and then what else do we need to know? But let me first I minimize this a bit such that people are able to know what we are having in our schedule. Let me first minimize it a bit. Let me just reduce its font. Let me just reduce the font. Okay, so this is our schedule. You are able to see that we have the period, the payment, or we can call it annual payment to be specific, and then the interest, accumulated interest, the principal, accumulated principal, and then the outstanding balance. So as we proceed, we shall be able to understand these terms, accumulated interest, accumulated principal, shall be able to understand them clearly. So that's it. Okay, so this is the first year. Let me first center this. Okay, this is 0 year, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and then the fifth year. We are expecting us to have paid our loan to the full amount, or in the fifth year. Then the outstanding balance in the 0 year. This is the 0 year as you're seeing it. It goes like this. 0 year, what is the payment? You have just obtained the loan, there is no payment, interest is 0, and then the accumulated interest, there is no one, and then moving this side, the outstanding balance. So when you obtain your loan today, it means your loan still stands. It is still our loan amount. It is what? $50,000. So that will be our loan amount or outstanding balance in the 0 year. So what are we going to do? We want to ascertain what is going to be the annual payment. What is going to be the annual periodic payment for every year? So we use a formula known as PMT. It enables us to get the periodic payment. So I can just say what is the periodic payment. This formula is inbuilt in Excel and you must know it. Periodic payment, PMT. What am I going to be paying annually until when I complete my loan? So to get it, so I have just typed this here, the word PMT. So I'll just go. As we know that to put any formula in Excel, you must first put the equal sign, and then you try to type the formula, which is PMT. It will suggest for you there are different things with PMT, but you're interested in the first one. PMT calculates the payment for a loan based on constant payments and constant interest rate. So that is PMT. So if I click on it, by just double clicking on it, it is going to tell me the formula or the procedures. So it starts with the interest, as you can see. Hopefully you are able to see. It starts with interest, number of payments, that is n per number of payments, and it continues with PV, that is the present value, and then FV, that is the future value, and that's all. So this is just the format of this formula. You must know in the rate, and that is the interest rate, which is 6%. Number of period, it is 5 years. The present value, and that is your loan, the loan that you have just obtained. The future value, so you must have completed your loan in the 5th year, that is the future value. The present value, that is the loan that you have just obtained. So if you try to type that formula in your Excel, you'll be able to get the standard format for that formula. Let me repeat it just one more time. Just say equal sign and you type the word PMT. So it will suggest for you rate, number of payments, PV, future value, and then the type. So the rate, it is 6%. I'll just reference it. Referencing, it is just I have inputted this. This is the my input values. So I'll just click on it, comma, continuing with our formula, number of period, it is 5 years, comma. So the present value, I said that it is the loan that you obtained, so it is going to be reducing after paying. So it is not going to be remaining constant. So after paying each year, it is going to reduce. So that's why we shall put a negative, and then we shall reference that cell, which is B1, and then I'll just close the formula, and then I'll be able to have the periodic payment. So this is going to be my annual payment. This is what I'm going to be paying annually. The first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and then the 5th year, until when I finish my loan, or when I settle my debt up to the 5th year. Hope that is clear. Okay, so going back to our schedule, this is the schedule. It has the period, it has the payment, it has the interest. Maybe the word interest is not okay. Interest. Okay, interest. It has the accumulated interest, it has the principal, accumulated principal, and then the outstanding balance. So what is the outstanding balance? So I told you that you have just obtained your loan, that is the 0 year. That's why loan amortization starts with 0 year. Kindly repeat on the formula. Okay, let me repeat. So to get the periodic payment, PMT, you just say equal sign, and then you type the word PMT. You just double click on the formula, and then it will give you the standard format for the formula: rate, number of period, present value, and then the future value. The rest is you can just ignore. Okay, so what is the rate? That is the interest rate, which is 6%. I'll just reference the cell, comma, number of period, which is 5 years, comma. The loan is going to be reducing, so I'll put a negative. So it is $50,000, and then I'll just complete the formula by closing it. You see, hope I've been able to answer your question, Madam Rahman Abosa. Okay, I think we can proceed. I was saying that the 0 year, that's a period when you have just obtained your loan, you have just obtained it maybe today, you cannot pay it when the loan term is 5 years. So you pay at the end of every year. So that is the 0 year. So the 0 year, there is no payment. The interest, then there is no interest, there is no accumulated interest, there is no principal, there is no accumulated principal. Then the outstanding balance, your loan is still the same, which is 50,000. So I'm going to just put an equal sign and just reference the cell, because I have the input value, which is 50,000. Okay, after that it will just come automatically. Just putting the equal sign, and then you just reference the cell. If you want 6%, you just reference, just put the equal sign, and then you put like that. That's how we do cell referencing. Okay, so we are able to see that in the 0 year, our loan still stands. You have just obtained it today, maybe tomorrow. Okay, there is no annual payment because it is a 0 year. Accumulated interest is 0, and then principal is 0, and then the accumulated principal is also what? Is 0. And then we have ascertained that, or we have found that we are going to be paying this amount. I think this is 11,869 dollars, and then this is what we're going to be paying every year. It is not going to be it is not going to be changing. It is going to be constant. So someone's going to tell you that, okay, you have obtained this is the interest. It is up to you to find out or to know that, okay, this is what I'm going to be paying after 1 year. Okay, so just say equal sign, and this, it will just come automatically. So I wanted this to be constant. Do you think I'm going to just say equal sign, I put this? Okay, what if you have 60 years? So I'm going to just lock. So yesterday we are able to look at absolute referencing. It is very, very, very simple. Absolute cell referencing, what you do, you just fix by putting a $sign such that it is going to be constant. Absolute referencing is very important here. So I want this to be constant, this annual payment. So I have to lock it by putting it in $sign. So you just put on the letter, which is B, or which is the column. We are in column B. I believe now we all know what a cell is. A cell, it is a combination of a column and a row. So I'm going to just lock the column, which is B, by putting it in $sign, like that. So if I do what we call relative referencing, just by pointing on at the end of the cell like this, and I scroll down, you see that it is what? Remaining constant. Cadescovia, please please type in the chat room. Use the chat room, unless you don't know how to use the chat room. But if you know, well and good, please use the chat room. Okay, that's it. I'm waiting for you before I proceed. Okay, maybe she's still typing or is still typing. So now we are going to find out what is the interest. So this is going to be my annual payment in the first year. So I want to know what is the interest. How much am I going to be paying, or how much am I going to pay as interest? So it is very simple. It is very easy to find out the interest. We just say equal sign. Interest, it is charged on the outstanding balance. So where is the outstanding balance? Or our loan, it is $50,000. So I'll just click on it, and then I'll just multiply it with the annual interest rate, which is 6%. So we are also going to lock something here. So this interest, it is annual interest rate. That means it is not going to be changing. So I have to fix it as well. If you forget to fix it by putting it in $sign, you will not get what you want. So we have not fixed the outstanding balance because it is going to be changing after paying each year. So that's why we are not able to fix it. So you are able to see that in the first year you pay this amount with this interest of $3,000. Okay, now to find or to get other things after getting the first one, you can just do what you call relative referencing by just pointing on the cell, and then you click at the edge of it, and then you scroll down up to the 5th year. So these ones will come as negatives, but don't worry. After building our loan amortization schedule, they will just change automatically. Okay, I think we are done with that. How did you get the interest? Interest, it was charged on the outstanding balance. In the 0 year, it was $50,000. So what we did, it was the outstanding balance of 50,000 times the interest rate of 6%, and then we fixed it by putting it in the please repeat on that step. Okay, how do you get the interest? Interest is charged on the outstanding balance. So the interest rate the uninterest rate is 6%. So I'm going to say the outstanding balance, which is this $50,000 times, so you're not seeing the $50,000 because it is what I have just referenced the cell by just clicking on the cell because the value is already there. 50,000 times the annual interest rate. You just put the asterisk, which means times in Excel, and then times the interest rate, which is 6%, which is cell B3. So I said this is annual interest rate. It is not going to be changing. It is the same for all years. So that's why we have to fix it by putting it in $sign. That's what we call absolute cell referencing. So I'll just put it in $sign like this, which is B3, like that, and then I'll be able to get what I want, like that. So hope I've been able to respond to you. Okay, so there's something I want to go. I'm not well clear in the payment, please. Okay, how we got the payment? Someone's asking how we're able to get the payment. So we're able to get the periodic payment, which is the PMT. So hope you are able to understand the formula. So we said for us to get the periodic payment, we use the PMT function. It is inbuilt. So so how did you get this column for periodic payment for the 1st year, 2nd year, 3rd year, 4th year, and 5th year? So what we did is equal sign, and then this value that we already have, this one, by just clicking on it. So we want it to be constant. So I have to just do what? I have to just fix it by putting it in $sign like that. So if you do what we call relative referencing, you just point on at the end of the cell like this, and you are able to see that it is what? It is constant. Okay, hopefully, but we are going to be able to look at 2 scenarios. If you don't get it for the first time, maybe you'll be able to get it on the second time when we are looking at the monthly basis. We are on the annual loan amortization schedule, so maybe you will get it on the second time if you still remain sober. Please don't lose the momentum because you have lost it for the first time. Maybe you can get it for the second time. So we want to ascertain what is the accumulated principal. It is very simple. Let me just use some formula here. Let me just put some figures here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. So we want to get the accumulated figure. Accumulated. So for us, the accumulated means, okay, here it is 1. So what if 1 plus 1, sorry, 1 plus 2, that is 3. So after adding, maybe if it is interest, after adding another year, what is the added figure of as interest? So it is going to be this plus, so I'll just say equal sign this plus this. So if you're able to see that 1 plus 2, that is 3. Okay, so I'll finish like this. Okay, 1 plus 2, it is 3. 3 plus 3, that is 6. 6 plus 4, that is 10. 10 plus 5, 15. Hopefully we are getting it right. Accumulated, okay, you can get it like this. 1 plus 2, that is what? 3. It will be here. 1 plus 2 plus 3, that is 6. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, that is 10. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6, plus 5, that is 15. That is accumulated. That's what accumulated means. Then there's another way of finding accumulated. Let's learn it also as well. You can get it manually by adding, I'll just say equal sign sum. I'll click on the first figure. Sorry. I'll just say sum and I'll click on the formula of sum. And then I'll just point on the first figure. I put some colon and I close. So I'm going to fix on the I'm going to fix the first cell like this. Okay, after that I'll just scroll down. Yeah, hopefully we are able to understand the two techniques of getting accumulated figure, of any accumulated figure. Maybe I'll repeat on the last one. You just say equal sign sum. You click on the first figure, sorry, equal sign sum. I have to first click on the formula, sum, it is here. Then I'll click on the first cell, I put some colon and I close. So I'm going to fix the first cell. It is saying B14, B14. Okay, so I'll lock like this. I'll lock the first cell like that, and then I'll just do what we call relative referencing. So it's up to you. You can use the first formula or the second formula, but all of them are okay. You can use any. I've cleared. If you have some challenges with that formula, please. So going back to our loan amortization schedule, that is just how do we call it? Okay. So going back, how do you get the accumulated interest? So I'll just say sum like that, and then I'll click on the first item. I'll put some colon, and then another one will come. So it is C8, C8. So I'll lock the first one like that. I'll just lock it, and then I'll just scroll down like that. So they will change, don't worry, because we have just one figure. So they will change automatically at the end. Now we are moving to principal. If you don't get it for the first time, we shall be able to look at the monthly payment. Okay, how do you get the principal? So principal, it is what you paid without interest. You want to know how much am I going to pay without interest? The interest, it is not yours. It is going to the bank. That is their profit, or the loan, or the loanee of or the person who has given you the what, or the money lender. That is the profit to the capital, or the reward for capital. It is interest. So it is not your money. Okay, so to get the principal, it is just in the first year I'm going to pay this amount, right? Because we said that is the annual payment minus the interest, which is 3,000, like that. B8 minus C8. annual payment minus the interest. What you paid without interest. That means you have to you just subtract. Okay, so if you use your calculator somewhere, you just say this minus this, and then you get this figure. So I'll just do what you call relative referencing, like that. Don't mind, they are not yet okay, but they will change automatically. So how to get that accumulated principal? The formula, it is the same. Excuse me. How do you get the accumulated principal? To get the accumulated principal, it is the same formula. Maybe you can use another one. We said, okay, I want this to be that figure because this is the first year. Then what is this plus this? So I'll just say equal sign this figure plus this, and then I'll just press enter. So if I scroll, if I do what we call relative referencing, I'll get it right like that. Now moving to outstanding balance. This is so easy. Pardon on the principal. Okay, I'm going to go back, don't worry. Then maybe we move further. Let's first handle that. How do you get principal? Someone is asking, how do you get principal? I said principal is what you paid without interest. So let me first delete these figures here in principal column. Let me just clear them out. I have cleared them. I said principal, you want to know how much am I going to pay without principal? Sorry, without the interest. So I'll just say in the first year, okay. Questions are coming up. So in the first year, you paid this. This is the annual payment, and it is constant. So you want to know, if I subtract the interest of 3,000, what am I going to pay as principal? That is principal. It is just the deduction from annual payment from minus the interest. That is, in simple terms, what you paid without interest. It is the annual payment minus interest, like that. So I'll just do what you call relative referencing, and I'll get it right. So someone is also asking, how did you get the accumulated principal? Accumulated principal, maybe we stick on one formula. We just say equal sign sum. If you click on the formula like that, sum, and then I'll click on the first cell, and then I'll put it in the same column, and then I close the formula. So I'll just come here and I lock the first cell, which is E8, by putting it in $, like that, and then I'll just scroll down. So they're not going to change. You have used different formulas to get the same result. Okay, now hope we are done with that. Then OB, outstanding balance. So you want to know, actually, on your loan of 50,000 in the first year, you're going to pay $8,869.82 on your loan of 50,000. So you want to know, after paying this amount, this is what you're paying, this is the actual payment for your loan, not without interest. Remember, we have subtracted don't mind about my tongue. We have subtracted, we have deducted the interest. So the interest is not about, it's just the profit to the what, to the owner of capital, or to the loan, to the money lender, or to the bank who has given the loan. So it is going to be this 50,000 minus the principal for you to get what is the remaining balance, that is outstanding balance. So it is going to be equal sign this figure, the 50,000, your actual loan, minus what you have paid in the first year. You get the balance. So if you use your calculator somewhere, if you calculate $50,000 minus 8,000, you'll be able to get this figure. So the rest is going to be history after getting the first one. So I'll just do the relative referencing up to here. And you must get 0. That's why here it is a 0. If you don't get 0, that means you have some errors somewhere. It is a 0. If we remove the pardon, please. But I think if you're saying pardon, please be specific. If you're saying pardon, that means I have to repeat everything. So let me first remove the decimal points. So you are able to see clearly that it is 0. Hope we are understanding the language now. These figures were not right when we are still building, but they have changed automatically. So, okay, let's look at this, maybe to get a deep understanding of what we are doing. Okay, let me do it like this. Okay. This is the loan that we obtained. In the first year, we paid this without interest, and then this is the loan balance. And then in the second year, we paid this. This is the outstanding balance. And then the accumulated, now maybe you can understand it. That means in the fifth year, we shall be settled that debt, which is the accumulated principal. It must be the loan amount, which is $50,000. Okay, I'm going to pardon on the outstanding balance. Don't worry. Outstanding balance. Remember, you want to know without counting the interest. It is going to be equal sign. What is your loan? It is 50,000. You want to know how much did I pay in the first year? Well, and that is your principal. So minus the principal, which is $8,000 something. And then you just subtract to get the figure here. That's it. Outstanding balance minus principal. All outstanding balance in the 0 year minus the principal in the first year. As simple as that. What you paid. So you want to know what is remaining after paying. So some people, if you pay this without interest, that is principal. Someone is going to tell you that no, it is not 40,000. Sorry, $41,130. No, it is 50,000. Oh, something that is different. So that's why it is very important for us to build loan amortization so that we can keep track of our loan balances. Hopefully, have been able to exhaust everything. Then let's move to the next scenario. But before, unless unless friends we have a question, but if you do not have any question as far as that is concerned, any question, if you have a question, let me give an opportunity for people to raise their electronic hands and ask questions. I'm giving an opportunity, please. So please, if you have a question, and it must be burning one. Kadeskovia, your hand is still up. Maybe you can just unmute yourself and ask. Okay, let me give an opportunity to this first. I think you are able to. Let me see. Yes, now you can be able to unmute yourself. Please submit. Submit your question. Redo after, because we have been left back. Okay. But Samantha, yes, please ask. Your hand is also up. Just unmute yourself. Samantha, just unmute. Just click on the microphone and submit.
Okay. I'm just requesting for the formula for interest that you used.
Okay, thank you.
If you can click on your cell, please.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to pardon. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Another person, Magona. Please submit.
Okay, my question was similar to him. Some of us were left at the interest. So
Okay. That's good. Yeah. Another person is asking also. Adong Nancy, I'm seeing your hand is also up. Alredo Lydia, your hand is also up. Please just submit before we proceed. Okay, I think those are the questions. Maybe they are familiar. I'm going to pass.
I wanted to ask on accumulated interest, how we got it.
Okay, yeah, friends, it is always good to ask. Don't fear to ask if you don't know something. I try to fill the value for PMT. Okay, someone, okay, let's first handle this question. Someone was trying it like somewhere and is getting ashes. So if you get ashes, so that means you just have to, okay, let me first minimize this and you see it maybe like here. If I minimize my cell, so you're seeing ashes, so you just have to maximize your cells. How do you maximize your cells? Like maybe if it is like this, so you're getting ashes. So if you're getting ashes, that means you just have to increase your cells. You can just point here at the end of the bar, and then you move it like this, or you can what you do, you can just double click here. So please, if you missed the first training, make sure you find it, because you're going to find a lot of challenges, because that was the foundation of what you're going to be looking at. So these trainings are always recorded, so make sure you find out where these recordings are and be able to access. We have a platform, that is our website. Okay, thank you those who have asked questions. Thank you for asking. But we have two scenarios to look at. How do you see if you are able to understand the things maybe on the second attempt? I was just suggesting, because it is going to be the same loan amortization schedule if we are looking at the monthly basis. Someone type in the chat room, how do you see if we just, even today's training is going to be uploaded to, yes, it is going to be uploaded as well. Yeah, someone to just comment about my my request. Can we just proceed to the second attempt such that people are able to understand these things clearly? Because we have two scenarios to make sure that people are able to understand everything. Friends, anyone to suggest? Okay, let me just take a decision. How did we get interest? That was the question someone was able to ask. How did we get interest? Okay, I think that is not really. So okay, maybe we can just do it mob chap. So to get interest, it what the other person is getting. You are the person who is getting the loan. You do not benefit. That is the profit of the person with what? With capital. So interest, remember, we are given an interest rate of 6%. Hope you are able to remember that. 6%. So it is going to be the loan. Interest is charged on the loan. Our loan, it is 50,000 times the what? times, this is the formula, times the interest rate of 6%. So it is 3,000. So we said that this interest rate is not going to be changing. So we have to fix it because it is annual interest rate. So we must lock it by putting it in dollar signs like that. So, and then we do what we call cell referencing after that. Okay, understanding the language of accumulated, maybe let's firstly move it. Okay, let's first get it this side because it is going to be the word accumulated. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you understand this formula, you'll be good to go. So we want to know the accumulated figure here. We want to know the accumulated figure here. So it is like this: 1 plus 2, that is 3. So the first one, it is going to be the same like that. Then 1 plus 2, it is 3. Manually, we are getting it manually. Then 1 plus 2 plus 3, that is 6. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, that is 10. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, and that is 15. That's the manual way of getting accumulated or cumulative, something that is cumulative. So like you have this maybe in the first period. If you add another one, you'll be getting 3. If you add another one, cumulative, something that is continuing. So we are looking for that cumulative figure. Accumulative. I don't know if the screen is no longer shared. No, please. I think what you're going to do, Madam Nachiganda Harima, first log out. I don't know, maybe because you have been complaining about this from the first session. So that means your gadget is having a problem, or you're having a network connection. So consider this technique. First log out and come back again. Log out briefly and come back again. You'll be able to find the screen. Thank you. Okay, so using another way of getting the word, or like of getting cumulative figure, it is the same. It is going to be equal sign this plus another one, which is 2. 1 plus 2, and then the rest I will just do what we call relative referencing, and I'll get the figures. Then another way, we can use the sum function. It is going to be equals sum. I double click on the formula. I'll just put the numbers that they have to be 2 values like that. I'll just click on the first cell, which is 1, and I put some colon. Another one will just come, and then I'll just close. Like that. I'll just close the function. So this one is just constant. So not constant, but it is going to be the same in the first place. So I'll just lock it, and then what is going to be changing? The other ones. So you'll be able to get the formula. Okay, I think the story of accumulated has also stopped there. If you have failed to get it this time around, and also by the these things are going to seem to be hard, but if you get a computer somewhere and then you try to follow along, you'll be able to understand these things, and you'll be wondering how easy these things are. Okay, so my work has not disappeared, so I've shifted to another sheet. Hope we know how to add sheets. So you just come here down and you click on the plus icon and you add another sheet. So I recommend you the things we were taught in our first session. So I'm on another sheet. I've not opened the new a new workbook, so I'm still on the same sheet. So I'm now treating the second scenario for monthly basis. Going back to scenario 2, better bank with a loan amount of $100,000, interest 4% annually. Let's forget 6%. That was for the scenario 1. Loan amount 10 years. Payment frequency monthly. So you're going to be paying or you're going to be settling your loan on a monthly basis. You pay after 1 month. So I'm going to just input this in Excel. So I'm going to first maximize my worksheet such that people are able to see what I'm doing clearly. Okay, hope my work is now visible clearly. So what is the loan? I need what you call the period or the term. I'll need also the interest rate. Okay, so these are all given. I'm going to just type them. Loan, it is if I'm to check back, it is $100,000. Interest rate is 4% annually. Loan amount, it is 10 years. So this is 100,000. Period, it is 10 years. And then the interest rate, it is 4%. Okay, if I'm to confirm, yes, 10 years. Okay, so you're going to settle your loan in 10 years. 10 years, interest it is 4% annually. So a year has 12 months, but the interest is going to be, the annual interest is going to be 4% for a period of 10 years. And then the person who has given you the money is saying, you're going to be paying me on a monthly basis. I want my money. I want you to be paying on your loan 4%. So that means I have to first come this side and I turn the things, some of the relevant things, into monthly basis. So I have to first ascertain the loan amount, the loan term, it is 10 years. So what is going to be, I'm going to settle my loan in how many months? So what I'll do, I'll just say 10 years times the number of months in a year, that is 120. So if you are asking yourself why there is 120 here, it comes from there. So you want to know, I'm going to pay for how many months in 10 years? Those are 120 months. So what is the monthly interest rate? This is annual, the 4%. Then what is the interest for each month? The monthly interest rate. So this means you have to convert this annual interest rate into months. So what I'll do, I'll just say equal sign the 4% divided by the number of months in a year, which are 12. There are 12. I don't know why it is 0. Okay, it is not 0. If I change this into percentage like this, it is not 0%. Okay, it is 0%, but it is having some figures before you are able to see it, but you can leave it like that, the way it was, like that. So let me first highlight this such that people are able to see everything. These are the number of months in 10 years. This is the monthly interest rate. How did I get it? I have the 4% for annual as the annual interest rate, and I converted into towards months. So I did 4% divided by the number of months in a year, like that. The story is still the same, and the person who is telling you the story is also the same. So to get the PMT, we use the same story or the same language. The periodic payment, it is still the same formula. And to get it, you just say equal sign, you type the word PMT, you click on it. What is the rate? The interest rate. Now we are going to just take the monthly one, which is that, comma, the number of period, it is 120. We are ignoring the what? The years. We are now on months, the 120 months in 10 years, comma. So the person who was complaining about, who was asking about PMT, I think she was Rahma Nabasa. Maybe in case you are not able to understand something, now this is the time for you to catch up. So the now we are getting the present value, so it is going to be reducing. Then that's why we shall put a negative, and then I'll just reference the loan, which is B1, like that. That's how we get the periodic payment. So their side, it was monthly, sorry, it was yearly. Now we are on monthly basis. So I'm going to just come up with a simple title here, and I call it monthly loan amortization schedule. Monthly loan amortization schedule, such that people are going to be able to understand what we are doing. Maybe I can even be able to change the color of this. So I've just changed the color, don't mind. So if I borrow this, now I'm moving to the loan amortization schedule, or I can call it a table. Repeat, getting PMT. Okay, how do you get PMT? I'm still lost in what you're doing right now. Okay, these figures we are able to just type them. And then how did you get the months? It was equal sign the number of years, there are 10. Then I want to ascertain the number of months in 10 years, so I'll just multiply by 12 to get 120, equal sign. So to get the monthly interest rate, this is annual. If we look at our question, this is 40. It is 4% annually. So I have to turn it to months, and I get the monthly interest rate. So I'll just say the 4% divided by the number of months in a year, which are 12, and then I'll be able to get this figure like that. It is not a 0. If you increase it, you can be able to see it is like that. And then how did we get the PMT? PMT, it is periodic payment. So to get it, you just put equal sign PMT rate. What is the rate? The interest rate. Now we are dealing with months. We shall ignore this. That's why we are able to convert. So I'll just say this monthly interest rate, comma, the number of periods. There are how many? 120. comma, then I'll put the loan, but I have to put a negative because it has to be reducing after paying for each year, and then I'll just come and close. The figure is still the same. Hopefully I've been able to respond to you all. Now we can move. So the monthly loan amortization schedule, we are building it now. It is still the same. Period, it must be having the period, it must be having the... So friends, in case you are lost, please find the recordings. So maybe in your free time, if you have a computer somewhere, you have to try out. Period, payment, I can call it PMT. I think my keyboard is having some issues, but payment, okay, it must be having what you call interest. It is still the same. Then accumulated interest. Then we must have what we call the principal, and then we must have what we call the accumulated principal. You can complete the word in case you have time. Accumulated principal, and then what we call outstanding balance. You can write the whole word, but I can call it OB. Yes, this is just the schedule. This is the schedule. I can use different colors. Just I'm doing coloring such that people are able to identify things separately. Okay, this is the schedule as you are able to see it. I think I don't have anyone who is lost. Now we are on the period. So we usually start with the 0 month, and then moving up to 120th month. Those are one. Remember, we have to clear our loan in months. How many months? There are 120. So we are building a loan amortization for 120 months. So to get it, it is not hard. So you just try to type the figures, or you can just type them manually, but you can just put like 3 or 4. Then you just highlight the entire columns, and then you just, the entire cells, and then you just scroll down. You highlight, and then you scroll down up to how many? 120. Oh, I've passed. But where are we? We are on the 12th month, up to 120th. Or if you find it not coming out well, it is okay, but maybe it is going to look disorganized. Maybe you can just handle like 3 or 4 months, or any, but maybe you can complete just dragging. It's not the problem, but you can just drag up to 120th month. Just point it here, you move. How many are these? We are in 128th. So I have to stop here. Those are the months. Okay. You can type them manually in case you have time. So, going back to payment. So, the periodic payment, it is still the same formula. You're going to be paying. PMT enables us to get the monthly payment or the periodic payment. So I'll just say equal sign. This is our PMT. This is our PMT. So I'll just say equal sign the PMT, which is $1,012, like that. So it is going to be the same. This is what we're going to be paying monthly with interest. What? So I want it to be the same. So you can type it manually, but it is going to come with some errors. So that means you have to fix it. So yeah, we are using the word fixing or absolutely referencing, but it is easy. But it means you just have to put the dollar signs like that. And then you move up to 150th, like 120th month. But if you find it maybe tiresome, you can just stop like here, like you did with like 3 months, and then if you finish up with everything, you just scroll down at once when you have finished. So let me just stop on the third month. Okay, what is the interest? So this month you'll be paying this. Your loan, it is still the same. It is still 100. So $100,000. So to put it here, you can type it all, but you can just do what you call referencing. You just put equal sign and you click on the loan. It is still the same in the 0 month. 100, like that, it will come. It is here. So interest, it is charged on the outstanding balance. So I'm still using the same language. Okay, I'll just say equal sign the outstanding balance, which is 100,000, times the monthly interest rate, not the annual, because we are building a monthly loan amortization schedule. So it is this one. So this is what we call monthly interest rate. So it's also it is also not going to be changing. So we have to fix it by putting it in dollar signs. So in the first month, this is going to be our interest rate, monthly interest rate, to be specific. So I can put it up to that. You are getting 0, but it will change automatically as we move on. Okay, so getting on accumulated interest, you still use the same technique. Just say sum equals sum. Just try to type the formula. Then you you click on the first interest. You put some colon, and then you lock or you fix the first cell by putting it in dollar signs like that, and then you reference up to that. And then going to principal, I said that principal, it is what you paid without interest. So in the first month, you're paying this amount of $1,012, and then with the interest of $333. So principal is what you paid without interest. So I will just subtract. I don't see Nancy, you're not seeing the screen. Please first log out and come back again. I think that is your network. Minus this. Principal is what you paid without interest. So I'll just subtract payment, or the PMT, minus the interest. So I'll be able to get this. So I can reference up to this. So it is bringing ashes. Okay. I'm moving into accumulated, still the same method, equal sign, then you just put sum. And then you click on the first principal, you put some colon, and then you fix the first cell like this by putting it in dollar sign, and then you press enter. Okay, someone was asking about outstanding balance. How do you get it? So it is very simple. On your loan of $100,000, in the first month you paid this. So it is going to be the original, or the 0 month outstanding balance, minus the principal, like that. So you're able to see that on your loan you paid $679. Okay, I'll pardon. Someone is saying pardon on the accumulated. Friends, accumulated is like becoming a problem. I don't know why, but let me first undo this. Let me first clear my content here. So to get the accumulated, it is simple. I don't know which method works better for you, but I thought that this is okay. Just say equals sum, and then you click on the formula of sum. I'm going to be adding. You click on the first on the first principal. You put the semicolon by pressing shift, then the colon will come. It will be like this, and then you close the formula, and then you start doing absolute referencing by locking the first cell. Okay, like this. Then you'll be able to get the accumulated principal. I don't know which formula works better for you, but I'm sure if you try these things, the more you try, the more you'll be able to understand everything. So to complete, I think we have completed. So let me first clear out the first month, like these months. Then first clear them out. Let me first clear these months, and then we do it at once. We do it at once up to this one. Let me clear them. So my schedule, it is almost complete. It is complete, but we have to move it up to the up to 120th month. So I have to just highlight the whole schedule like this. I have to highlight it. To just highlight the whole schedule up to this stage, and then I'll just do what you call relative referencing. Okay, I'm going to pardon Mr. Musisi Michael, but maybe you can first finish up with this. So you can just highlight your entire sheet. Your entire schedule, and then you do what you call referencing. You point on the last one, and then you start moving. But it is coming out with some errors. Or what we can do, we can skip the first, and then we go with this one, and then we do what we call referencing. I think my gadget is going down. Let me first plug it in some power. Just a moment. Okay, I think we are good to go. So I was saying, you just like what I've done, I highlighted from the second month going to the third one. Then I'm going to just try to reference, and I see. Okay, you see figures are changing without errors. So I'm going to move up to 120th month, up to when I get a 0. You're seeing things, the way they change. You can move. You move. Okay, so that means our schedule stops here. So you must get a 0 in the last month. So going back to someone who was asking how to get, he lost on from interest. Okay, it's okay to get lost, and it is always good to ask. To get interest is charged on the outstanding balance. So what we did here, let me first go back to interest a little bit. Let me first go back to interest. Interest is here. I don't know why this cell is empty, but let me remove it. Okay, interest is here. Let me first remove the first figures. First clear them out like that. So someone is asking me how to get interest. Interest, we have the monthly one. Remember how to change it, how to convert it into months. So we just say equals the outstanding balance, which is 100, times the monthly interest rate, the one we converted, which is this one. Okay, and then we said that this interest, it is in cell C3. It is not going to be changing, so you have to fix it by